but I'm going to go ahead and say I think it's well within her rights to want what she wants. The only thing I question is, why does she want that? And what I would question is, I would say, why do you feel that a man who drives a bus can't, under any conditions, any circumstances, be a better man for you than a man who owns the bus company? Like, well, why is it that this important decision of who you're going to spend your life with, who you're going to have children with, who you're going to allow into your body, and any STDs or anything else that they might have, why in the world is it that the man owning the bus company is the single most important and sole criteria for deciding, whether or not that's a man you want to be with? I think that's a recipe for disaster. That's what I'm getting at. I think that's a recipe for disaster. And the reason I say that is because a lot of your decisions in life have to have multiple variables in those decisions. One of the things that I think the Instagram culture has given us, or a lot of young ladies not growing up with a father in the house, I'm talking about in the house, like in your face every morning when you get up for school, is that I think that they maybe form these weird fantasies about men, these very interesting fantasies about how perfect a man is supposed to be, how wealthy he's supposed to be, and all these other things, or this false idea that a man who has money is better than a man who has less money. I think maybe some financial trauma might come into play. If you are a woman who grew up broke and struggling and in poverty, then you may feel like, hey, you know what? If nothing going on with the rent, if he can't help me pay the bills and give me that financial security, then that's a deal breaker. That's literally the baseline need that he must fulfill in order for him to even have an opportunity to be my man. That's actually quite normal in the sense that when I wrote a book years ago called Financial Lovemaking, in that book, I remember doing research on women and money. And I'm sorry, fellas, I hate to share this with you, but financial security is really important for women, for a lot of women, especially women who don't have it. Women who have it, it's not as important. But women who grew up poor or struggling or don't have enough money to do everything they want to do, maybe they have kids, financial security does make a big difference for them. And you can't get mad at them for that. You can't call them all gold diggers, just like I can't call you a pervert because you like a woman with long hair and a big booty. That's your right. You can have the right to want whatever you want. And I think that but here's the other thing too that people don't consider is when you talk about wanting what you want, I noticed that there's sometimes we can get into the habit of spending so much time scrutinizing the opposite sex that we don't spend any time scrutinizing ourselves. How many of you have seen this on the internet? Has anybody ever seen like spaces like the manosphere where all they do is talk about what's wrong with women? All they do is talk about how women are doing this and women are doing that and women are blah, blah, blah. Women are unreal. Or you go to other spaces where you get a bunch of women together and all they can do is talk about what's wrong with men. Every time a woman gets a divorce, it's because something that the man did not do. I was not happy. He was verbally abusive. He was whatever. What does that mean? Like, does that mean that he just didn't put up with your BS? Is that why you left him? Is that why you broke up with him? Because he wouldn't let you abuse him? Maybe that's the situation. We don't know that, right? But you notice a lot of people tend to get in the habit of being really critical of the opposite sex, but not at all being critical of what it takes to actually be a person that is going to be desired by the opposite sex. Let me just tell you this. I have my own perceptions of what it means to be a high value man or a high value woman. I can tell you that when I made it my goal to be a high value man, sure, I would be careful and I would distinguish between what types of women I would want and what type of women I wouldn't deal with. But I also said, okay, I get it. If I go out here and if I take good care of myself, if I learn how to treat a woman, if I go make some money, if I get some education, get some status, get some success, then I'm not going to have to worry about people having high standards or double standards or unreasonable standards, because I'm going to have women that are going to be interested in me because I'm showing up in an appropriate way. I'm not showing up just criticizing you or scrutinizing you. I've already gone through the vetting process for myself to do all that I can to make myself an appropriate catch when the right woman comes along. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like looking for a job. You can sit around and complain about how hard the jobs are, how much work they make you do, how little the pay is and all that. But are you tightening up your resume? Are you going back to school and getting those extra credentials? Are you learning what it even takes to be a good team member for an organization so that they'll even want to hire you? Because let me just tell you this. In any market, I'm an economist. We think of everything in terms of markets. Dating is a market, just like a job market. In every market, there is something called supply and demand. Give me a yes if you know what supply and demand are. Supply and demand basically says that when you are bringing the goods to the table, when you're bringing something that's truly unique, when you're bringing something that's truly high value, when you really know what it means to take care of a woman, when you really know what it means to be good to a man, then guess what? You will be in high demand from quality people.